Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Kennels. Today we got another video movie pickup. That's what we got for you. I think some of these are really great. One I did get used, so I'm kind of double dipping on that part of it. But it's mainly because I wanted the Steelbook. I really liked the way it looked. But everything else were all brand new. So again, once I get my stuff, I try to, rip them right away, put them on my home server, that way I can just watch it on there. But, I figured let's just go ahead and get into it real quick. This one was an older movie, so, and for the price, couldn't say no to it. It's a movie I like. It's not something I would watch all the time, but definitely, every year or two, I would definitely watch this. And it's a really, really good movie. And that is none other than the Green Mile. This is a really good movie. Like, I really like the role the guy played on there, like him right there. Yeah, he played a fantastic role in this movie, and it was really, really good. So if you've never seen this, even though this is an older movie, you should definitely check this out. I think this is something you would definitely thoroughly enjoy. So, definitely something good to pick up. Again, that's the Green Mile. So, yeah, there's that one. This other one, it's a good thing that I do use, Make MKV and the MKV Toolnix. Normally I'm just using a Make MKV because, of course, like I said, I rip all my movies, so I put everything on my server. But every now and then, and this is like, and I really mean do every now and then, sometimes you get movies that are on 2 discs. Sometimes you get movies that are like TV series. So you need to split up the episodes. Or sometimes you just need to join them together. And in this situation, joining them together is what I ended up doing. And that is no other than Ben-Hur. So apparently, since they wanted to keep the quality of this movie, this is actually on 2 4K discs. So it's a pretty large size, and so this would not have fitted on one 4K disc. So, luckily with the tools we have available, especially MKA Nix tool, I'm able to go ahead and rip the 2 movies individually and then go ahead and combine them together using that program. So that way I just have one video file instead of my server saying part 1 and then then there's part 2. So this way I just keep it all together, one file. Doesn't matter that it's 100 plus gigs for that one file. But yeah, definitely a good movie. And the funny thing is I haven't when I joined the 2 files together, I watched it on my computer to see how it looks, even though my main monitor is for gaming, and then I have my editing monitor on the side. But I ended up watching this on my gaming monitor, and I was blown away by how good this looked. I was like, "What? It looks that good!" And it's a gaming monitor, so it's not even meant for watching movies. And this thing looked fantastic. So definitely waiting to see how this looks on the TV. I was telling my daughter, this is one she definitely needs to watch. You got to book out some time for it because it is 3 hour plus. So it is definitely a very long movie, but it's a really good movie. I want to say it was like 1958, 1959, and this movie looks amazing. So that's one you definitely need to check out, Ben-Hur. And I remember watching this as a kid too. So funny thing is, I just don't remember that it was that long of a movie. But as a small kid, Yeah, you're not really paying attention to time anyway, so that really doesn't matter there. But it's a long movie. I'm sorry. It's a very long movie, but it's a good movie. Definitely good. This next one here, I would have actually waited to order this when it goes on sale, but because I wanted the Steelbook. Granted, I don't think it's one of those Steelbooks that would sell out, but at the same time, I've kind of thought that about other movies. Then they've sold out, and then I wasn't able to get the Steelbooks. So I figured, well, let me just get it where I can get the Steelbook on pre-order. And I did enjoy the first movie. Thought the first one was really funny. So, figure I get part 2. And that is Five Nights at Freddy. And let me try to get the reflection out of there. Sorry, I have my monitor on the side there. So yeah, Five Nights at Freddy, part 2. So this should definitely be a fun one to watch. I haven't seen anything about it, so if it's anything remotely like the first movie, I'm fine with it. I'm definitely cool with it because I thought some of the characters were really funny. And as long as they just keep going, I'm good with it. So let them do their thing. Definitely, I don't know. I guess they still consider it a horror movie. To me, it's a comedy horror, if more comedy than horror. But that's how I look at it. But I still think it's a pretty funny movie. So, well, at least the first part. I haven't seen the second part. So I'm hoping part 2 is, just as good as the first. Or at least somewhat near close to it, Just never know with some of these movies. Now, this is one that I ended up ordering from Amazon Germany. And I ordered it a couple weeks ago. And then literally like the other day, I seen it, I want to say on Orbit. And it was like maybe $10 cheaper. Not price-wise of the movie, just, overall, because, I had to pay like the, whatever those import taxes are. So that made the price go up on this. But I want to say it was only like a difference of maybe around $10, but everything else was still like the same price. And, since I've seen like not the previews, but like about the movie is something I wanted to pick up. So definitely wanted to get this since I do like the other ones, even though they're kind of corny, but they're funny at the same time. And that one is Bambi Reckoning. So definitely one that I'm looking forward to seeing. I'm hoping it's as funny as the other ones. I'm not expecting it to be good, in all honesty. It's not one of those type of movies. But I am expecting it to be funny. Like even, what was it? Scream Boat with Mickey. That was funny. Wasn't a good movie, but it was funny. Then you got the one with the Winnie the Pooh. I thought both of those were hilarious. So, when they're doing like these Disney characters, that's something that, I definitely have to pick up. It's something I definitely want to see and enjoy for sure. So, we'll see how that is, and whether or not I like it like the other ones. But yeah, this does have, I know when you rip the file, there's one file with the German and English, and then the other file with Italian and English. But I figure since it's a German movie, or at least a German release, I'll keep the German language and then, of course, the English, because I'm not going to understand jack shit in German. So that's like me speaking to you in Spanish. I'm sure a lot of y'all didn't understand what was going on in the Super Bowl, right? So, some of us can speak the language, and some of us can't, man. That's one language. Yeah, I'm not even going to try to even pretend I know. But I will watch it in English. So there's that. All right, this next one, some people say double dipping. In this case, I had to triple dip. So I have the Blu-ray, the Steelbook for the 4K, and that was pretty recent. But then I was like, I got the deluxe edition for my other one when that first came out because I had to order it through Japan anyways. And I did buy a bunch of like multiple different versions of it. So, there's that. I guess that one's more than triple dipping, but this one's triple dipping. So, they had the deluxe edition. So I figured I'm going to have to get it. Movie I think is funny. I think Godzilla looks kind of weird. I would probably say he's one of the least best looking Godzillas. But I still enjoyed the movie either way. And that was my monitor. That was Shin Godzilla. So, definitely had to pick up the deluxe set. So this one has making of Shin, deleted scenes, outtakes, news reels, some other stuff on here too. So, but yeah, I definitely had to get the chunky box deluxe for it. Definitely want to keep this one. Not sure if I'm going to end up opening this one. Only because I already, my light. I rearranged some stuff, so now I kind of have to kind of fix where things are reflecting. But yeah, Shin Godzilla Deluxe Edition, had to pick it up. Plus I'm a Godzilla fan, so can't say no to Godzilla. And this one I did order through Toho, so even my Godzilla statue I got through Toho, and them things are expensive for some plastic. All right, so this is the one used copy I did buy because a new price for this, no, it's not worth it. Plus, like I said, I have the 4K. I got the digital copy of it, so buying is new just to have it new and then end up getting another digital copy, I'm going to have to sell that digital copy. So figured I'll get it used. It was way cheaper price, and it was pretty much in perfect condition, except for one little tiny ding in the corner, but on the back, I'm not worried about that. It's tiny. Man, I'm okay with that, especially when you're saving money. And that is Godzilla versus Kong. I really like the way this steelbook looks. I know they have another steelbook of it, but I don't like the way that one looks. But I do like the way this one looks. So that's why I picked it up. And I kind of thought about maybe getting the other two movies in steelbooks, but I'm like, I don't know. Should I really do that? Kind of unsure. So I don't know. We have to wait and see, if I ever decide to on that one. But for now, I was getting this one, and this looks really, really good. I know in the plastic sleeves, I get it. Y'all can't see it as good as I can see it with, without the plastic slip. But I like to keep them protected, so, keep them in good condition. And, and not always when you buy them used, you get the J card, because a lot of people tend to throw away their J cards. I do like the J cards because it has the information, plus it has the barcode. It makes it easier when I'm adding it to my movie app and I know what the hell I got. So I kind of appreciate when people keep the J cards. Now, I guess it would kind of be the same way for people that like slip covers. They got to have slip covers. Not everything needs a slip cover. But I would like the information of the movie, And I know steelbooks are not printed on them. So when people do keep their J cards, trust me, I greatly appreciate y'all doing that, because if not, I won't know what's on it. At least for, that particular edition, unless I have another edition of it. So, but yeah, there's that. But yeah, those were some of my recent pickups. I know for some, I'll probably leave like Amazon affiliate links for them. So if you want to use the links, you're more than welcome to do so. If you don't want to, you don't want to. It's all good. I'm okay. Life will still, keep going. What was the other thing? There is something I did want to mention. Oh yeah. So I figured I'd go with a little wider view. Typically I'm using my 50 mil, and that's really tight. I mean, I do like the more close up look, of course. But that one is kind of pretty tight, and I do have to keep the camera a little further back. This room's only but so big. So, you know, I was kind of not maxed out at my distance as how far I could put it back. I did have a little bit more room, but I like to try to keep everything close, if at all possible. Just makes it a little easier. So I figure, you know what? Let me just switch to my 35 mil lens. It doesn't have the same look that I prefer with the 50, but it does give me a little, I don't know, I guess you would say a little more wider view, or at least somewhat comparable to my 50, even though I have the 35 much closer. But at least this way it's not so far away, so when I have to make changes to it, or, you know, anything from behind, you know, I'm not having to like move stuff from, you know, behind it or whatever to try to fit in there, because I have to keep it so far back, you know, up against the wall. So anyways, we'll see how this looks. You know, I'll try this for quite a few videos, see if I like it. If I don't like it, then, you know, I'll just go back to my 50 mil. You know, it's okay. I'm okay with the 50 mil, but I'll give the 35 a try. I know when I did my photography, most of my photos were all shot either 85 mil, 135 mil, 200 mil. Very few I would shoot at 50. Unless I was doing more like editorial stuff, then I was either like 16, 35. Never really shot at 24 very much. So that's kind of where I was always at, you know, more in the higher ranges. But yeah, we'll give this a go and see how it is. Anyways, it's been your boy BULLBOYKENNELS, and as always, keep them scratching. Peace. We up out of here.